If I had zero money to invest in Ireland today, what would I do? And it's not really about buying anything. It's about getting the correct order of how things need to be done. So in today's video, we're going to look at 8 steps that I would recommend that you take if you're starting to invest with nothing. Hi, my name is Pascal. I'm a financial advisor in Donegal, all the way up at the top of Ireland. I've been doing financial advice and helping people manage their financial decisions for over 30 years at this stage. So we kind of see that a lot of the same things come up and the same conversations coming up year on year on year. And today's video is really about, well, listen, where do you start? And it's not about buying anything. It's not even about choosing product. It's about how do we start? Where do we start? What's the foundation? So things that we're going to talk about is, where do people get stuck? Where do you start? How do you start a financial plan? And by the end of that, hopefully, you'll have some actionable plans that you can start and work on. So where do most people get stuck? And it's rarely about picking the wrong thing. It's more like this, they skip the groundwork. So they start building before they have the foundations in, which is inevitably going to fall down. So no foundation in place without the base. This is the first thing to start. This is where you need to start. Is good investments will come wrong when the foundations are not there. Things like no emergency fund. Because if you put in an investment and you've no fund, the first bill that comes in that's out unexpected, well, guess what you're going to do? You're going to change your investment plan or you're saving for your future. And that's what you don't want to hit. And having short-term money and longer-term money all in the same pot, not a good idea. So get your financial house in order. You need to build and understand and have a stable monthly surplus before you can commit to anything. So things like starting a budget, understanding what's coming in, what's going out. Suddenly you can see where the sustainable money is, even if it's just a small amount, but getting it consistently there. First point, an emergency fund. Have at least 3 times your net income in cash where you can put your hand on it. Something happens, fridge breaks down, you need a wash machine, tire blows out, you need to get your money, get some kind of money together. Instead of running to your investment plan, have that money there. Start and pay off high interest debts, things like credit cards, things like this PNPL is a new buzzword in financials now, and it's buy now, pay later loans. And you can see them quite a lot on, not that I'd be buying from ASOS quite a lot, but you get the idea. So a lot of clothing companies would use these now, where you're shopping online and you can spread it over 3 months or 6 months. Generally not a great idea because you're committing to money spent where you don't actually know what the future lies. Credit cards as well. Guys, very simply, if you are not paying your credit card off at the end of every month, you are living above your means and you need to stop it. You will never create wealth if you are spending more money on a monthly basis than you're bringing in. So those are good housekeeping. So start your financial house and start with the housekeeping before you start building in any long-term planning. Timeline before product. And what we mean by this is understand what the money is going to be used for before you commit it. And short-term money should not be in the same bucket as long-term money. So things like, holidays, cars, wedding funds, short-term goals, these are, under a 5-year strategy. If you need money under a 5-year strategy, it should not be in an investment. You definitely need to save it and it definitely needs to work, but it needs a different type of strategy. If you're saving for something that's more than 5 years, then yes, look at an investment strategy, but those two things are completely different vehicles and completely different strategies. So they need a different strategy. The account that matters, when you're saving for retirement, and we're just kind of looking at an example here of saving for retirement, where do you actually look at, or what should you look at? And the first place is your workplace pension. If your place of work has a pension there, then get into that. Get to know it. Get to understand what it actually is. If they don't, obviously then personal pensions, PRSAs, if you're self-employed, we've got to look at these because from a tax effective point of view and a tax efficiency point of view, you get tax relief at your marginal rate. So straight away, if you're saving for retirement, it's very, very hard to argue against that. And then you look at your shorter term goals. And if you have shorter term goals like saving for children's education, saving for something that's not retirement, but it's also not money that you need in the next 5 years, then that's where you need an investment strategy. Even if you start small, even if you looked at €100 a month, over 20, 30 years, compounding does the heavy lifting here. And what we mean by compounding is money on top of money on top of money. And for you, it's not about having a lump sum to start with. It's about consistency. It's setting the goal that you know that you can stick with, and consistency will always beat confidence. And I see lots of people think that they can time the market and they can buy the next best thing, and whether it's gold or copper in a Botswana mine, or whether it's whiskey and the new, it doesn't matter. Consistency will beat the confidence in trying to time the market, and it's time in the market rather than timing the market that will always do better. Diversification, big word. We use it all the time in financial services, and really all diversification is don't buy one thing, because if one thing goes wrong, well then you don't have a backup plan. So buy into funds, pool funds. So use companies like life insurance companies. If Irish Life, Zurich, New Ireland, Royal London, all these companies are here, and they have professionals in there making decisions that you don't have to make. Now you have to pay them, and that's where low cost comes into it. So obviously look at the cost of running these funds, but the decision for how you make money is once you understand what it is you're trying to do, when you need the money, and how it actually works, well, let somebody else actually handle the decisions around that. One straightforward decision is the right way to do it. Don't be trying to predict the next stock. Get a broad base of stocks. Get into a fund that allows you, or a product that allows you broad base and spreads the risk around, so you're not depending on one thing to be right all the time to make sure you achieve your goal. Automation. I say this all the time. Make one decision. Do not make 12 decisions a year every time your money comes in that you have to make a decision on whether to pay it out or not. Automate it. And try and get it automated on the day the money hits your account. So therefore you never actually see it. So when you look at your account, you're paid, but also your savings is done. Your automation is done. It is a decision that you have made, and stick with it and stay, just let it go. Do not get emotional about it. Let the markets do what they want and stay the course. And that's the secret, guys, to building wealth, creating money, creating your emergency fund. Do all of the foundations and then start and save and create wealth for yourself. When markets drop, markets always drop. It always has happened. It always will happen. You're not in control of whether markets drop or whether they're not. But what you are in control is how you react. And if you panic and sell out, well, now you've locked in any loss that may or may not be there. But the panic is optional. The market drop, the market correction is not optional because it's outside of your control. But how you react is definitely within your control. And the point is, if you understand what it is you're doing, understand the timeline, and the preparation is there, then when a market correction happens, you don't panic. It's acceptable. So knowing the order before you choose the product is the best advice that I can give you. So it's about the foundation, getting your house view in place, getting the timeline correct for the monies. Which bucket are we putting this money into? Choosing the right product, of course, is important. But it's not as important as the foundations and the timeline. Starting small. Start with a figure that you know that you can commit to. We all want the big sexy investments, and it's brilliant when you're able to say, well, listen, I can save €1,000 a month. But if you save it for 2 months and then you're under pressure because the fridge needs fixing, well then there's no point. So start small, start and automate it. Get it diversified. Get into an account that doesn't carry huge risks. Big one, automate it. Automation, automation, automation. One decision, done. And stay calm. Understand that volatility is inherent when you invest money. But time is the leveler for volatility. Time is the antidote to volatility. So allow it to do its thing, and that's what will help you create wealth and get you saving and investing. If you have any other questions about savings or investments, we're more than happy to answer your questions, guys. We've been at it for a while. I don't want to say how many years again, but we've been at it. We've been here for a while. There isn't a question that I haven't already seen, heard, or had an answer for. Reach out to us today, guys. We're more than happy to help.